Hello students, welcome back to a new video of Sunanda's tutorial. So in this video we will discuss about the human health and diseases, which is your chapter 8 of CBSE class 12 biology. So let's start. At first, what is health? Health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being and not merely the absence of disease or any infirmities. There are three dimensions of health, that is physical, physiological as well as social. Physical health means perfect functioning of all parts of the body. Mental health means harmony between individual and environment. An individual is said to be mentally sound when he is free from stress, anxiety, so the functions are performed in much better way. And social health means the ability of an individual living in society to possess the basic requirements of life, like good earning, good food, clean drinking water, a clean place to live, a happy life, a cooperative interaction, etc. Then the following are necessary to maintain a good health. One is balanced diet, then drinking clean water, personal and community hygiene, physical exercise should be regular, disease awareness, vaccination, waste disposal and control of vectors. Then what is disease? It is defined as the physical and functional change from the normal state that can cause discomfort or disability or impairs of health of living individuals. So the types and example of agents, disease agents. What is disease agent? It is a factor that produce disease. So types of disease agents are biological agent like virus, rickettsias, bacteria, fungi, and generally these are called pathogen. Disease causing microbes are called pathogens. Then nutrient agents such as food component or deficiency of any food component, endogenous chemical agent like hormone, enzyme, urea, uric acid, exogenous like fume, gas, dust, spore, pollen. Then physical agent like heat, cold, humidity, pressure, etc. Mechanical agent like injury, sprain, dislocation, fracture. So then genetic disorders are there. So these are various disease agents which can create a disease or which can cause a disease actually. Then disease can be broadly grouped into infectious and non-infectious. Infectious diseases are very common and every one of us suffers from this at some time. So infectious disease, one of the example is AIDS, which is fatal, and non-infectious disease, cancer is the major cause of death nowadays. Drug and alcohol abuse also affect our health adversely. Then a wide range of organisms belongs to bacteria, virus, fungi could cause disease in man. Such disease causing organism called pathogens. Most parasites are therefore pathogens. They cause harm to the host by living in or on them. Pathogen enter to our body by various means, multiply and interfere with normal vital activities, resulting in morphological as well as functional damage. Then one of the disease is typhoid, which is caused by the bacterium, pathogenic bacterium Salmonella typhi. It causes the typhoid fever in human being. These pathogens generally enter the small intestine through food and water contaminated with them. Sustained high fever, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache and loss of appetite are some common symptoms of this disease. Intestinal perforations and death may also occur in severe cases. This typhoid fever could be confirmed by a Vidal test. Then pneumonia caused by the bacteria Streptococcus pneumoniae or Haemophilus influenzae. These are two responsible bacteria for this disease. As a result of infection, alveoli of lungs get filled with fluid, leading to severe problems in respiration. The symptoms of pneumonia include fever, chills, cough, headache. In severe cases, leaves, finger, nails may turn grey to bluish color. Then dysentery, plague, diphtheria are also some bacterial diseases. Many viruses also cause disease. For example, common cold. Common cold is characterized by nasal congestion and discharge, sore throat, hoarseness, cough, headache, tiredness, which is usually lasts for 3 to 5 days or maximum 7 days. Then malaria. Plasmodium, a tiny protozoan, is responsible for this disease. Different species of Plasmodium are responsible for different types of malaria. Of this, malignant malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum is the most serious one and can even be fatal. Then life cycle of Plasmodium, it enters into the human body as sporozoites through the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito. Parasite initially multiply within the liver cell and then attack the RBCs, resulting in their rupture. The rupture of RBCs is associated with release of toxic substances, hemojoin, which is responsible for chill and high fever recurring every 3 to 4 days. When a female Anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, these parasites enter the mosquito's body and undergo further development. The parasites multiply within them to form sporozoite and stored in their salivary gland. When these mosquito bite a human, sporozoites are introduced into his or her body, thereby initiating the events mentioned above. It is interesting to note that malarial parasite require two hosts, human and mosquito, to complete its life cycle. The female Anopheles mosquito is the vector too. Then amoebiasis. The main cause of this disease is entamoeba histolytica. Symptoms include constipation, abdominal pain and cramped stools with excess mucus and blood clots. Houseflies act as the mechanical carrier and serve to transmit the parasite from feces to infected persons' food and food products, thereby infecting and contaminating them. Then ascariasis. Ascaris caused by the ascaris, which is the common round worm, and Wucheria filarial worm are some helminths which are known to be pathogenic. And ascaris, an intestinal parasite, cause ascariasis. Then elephantiasis or filariasis. Wucheria, the filarial worm, causes slowly developing chronic inflammation of organs in which they live for many years, usually the lymphatic vessel of lower limb. And the disease is called elephantiasis or filariasis. The genital organ also often affected, resulting in gross deformities. Many fungi belonging to Microsporum, then Trichophyton, then Epidermophyton are responsible for ringworm, which is one of the most common infectious disease in human being. Appearance of dry, scaly lesion on various parts of the body such as skin, nail, then scalp are the main symptom of this disease. Then how to prevent this infectious disease? Maintenance of personal and public hygiene. Personal hygiene like body clean, consumption of plentifully water. Then public hygiene means proper disposal of waste, periodic cleaning, disinfection of water reservoir, pool, then eradication of vector and destroying their breeding site. Mosquito net, using mosquito net, repellents should be used. Vaccination and immunization program for disease should be strictly followed. Use of antibiotic and drugs can significantly keep away us from the infectious disease. Then what is immunity? It is the capacity of organism to resist or defend itself from the development of any disease. So this immunity can be divided into adaptive immunity or innate immunity. Adaptive immunity can be natural or artificial. Natural one again divided into passive or active. Artificial also can be categorized into two categories. One is passive and active. What is innate immunity? It is a non-specific type of defense that is present at the time of birth. They can be physical barrier like our skin, then physiological barrier, acid in stomach, saliva in mouth, tears in eyes, cellular barriers like leukocyte, then cytokines barrier like virus infected cells secrete proteins called interferons which protect non-infected cells from further viral infection. So these are present since our birth. Then acquired immunity on the other hand is the pathogen specific, characterized by memory. This means that our body when encountered by a pathogen for the first time produces a response called primary response, which is have low intensity. Subsequent encounter with the same pathogen elicits a highly intensified secondary response. As the antibodies are found in blood, it is also called the humoral immune response. This is one of the two types of acquired immune response, which is antibody mediated, and the second one is cell mediated. One is antibody mediated, second one is cell mediated immunity. The T lymphocyte mediate cell mediate immunity. Tissue matching, blood group matching are essential before undertaking any graft or transplant, and even after this the patient has to take immunosuppressant all for his or her life. The body is able to differentiate between self and non-self, and cell mediated immune response is responsible for graft generation. Then active and passive immunity. Active immunity is slow and takes time to give full effective response. Injecting microbe deliberately during immunization or infectious organisms gaining access into the body during natural infection induce the active immunity. But when the ready-made antibodies directly given to protect the body against the foreign agent, it is called the passive immunity. Then what is vaccination and immunization? The principle of immunization and vaccination is based on the property of memory of immune system. In vaccination, a preparation of antigenic proteins of pathogen or inactivated pathogen are introduced into the body. The antibodies produced in the body against these antigens would neutralize the pathogenic agents during actual infection. Then the vaccine also generates memory. It produces B cell, T cell that recognize the pathogen quickly on subsequent exposure and overwhelm the invaders with a massive production of antibodies. If a person infected with some deadly microbe to which quick immune response is required, such as tetanus, we need to directly inject the performed antibodies or antitoxin. Which is what is antitoxin? Antitoxin is a preparation containing antibodies to the toxin. Even in case of snake bite, the injection which is given to the patient contain performed antibody against the snake venom. This is a type of immunization called the passive immunization. Then what is allergy? It is a response or exaggerate response of immune system of certain antigen present in the environment called the allergy. The substance that cause this immune response is called allergen, One more thing, the antibodies produced to these are IgE type. Then autoimmunity, what is autoimmunity? Memory based acquired immunity evolved in higher vertebrates based on the ability to differentiate the foreign organism or pathogen from cell. While we still do not understand the basis of this, two corollaries of this ability have to be understood. One, that vertebrates can distinguish foreign molecule as well as foreign organism, and sometimes due to genetic and unknown reason the body attacks cells. This results in damage to the body and called autoimmune disease. Then immune system of our body. The human immune system consists of lymphoid organs, tissues, cells and soluble molecules like antibodies. Then what is lymphoid organ? Lymphoid organ, these are organs where origin and maturation and proliferation of lymphocytes occur. The primary lymphoid organs are bone marrow and thymus, where immature lymphocytes differentiate into antigen sensitive lymphocytes. After maturation, lymphocytes migrate to secondary lymphoid organ like spleen, lymph node, tonsil, pairs, patches. That means in primary lymphoid organ like bone marrow and thymus are primary lymphoid organ where the lymphocytes differentiate. After differentiation, they move to the secondary lymphoid organ like spleen, lymph node. These secondary lymphoid organs provide site of interaction of lymphocytes with the antigen, which then proliferate to become effector cells. The bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ where the blood cell including lymphocytes are produced. The thymus is a lobed organ located near the heart and beneath the breastbone. Thymus is quite large at the time of birth but keep reducing in size with age, and by time of puberty it reduces to a very small size. The bone marrow and thymus provide microenvironment for the development and maturation of T lymphocyte. Spleen is a bean-shaped organ. It contains the lymphocyte and phagocyte. It acts as a filter of the blood, trapping blood-borne microorganisms. Spleen also has large reservoir of erythrocytes. The lymphoid tissue also located within the lining of major tracts such as respiratory tract, digestive tract, urogenital tract called mucosa associated lymphoid tissue or MALT. It constitutes about 50% of lymphoid tissue in the human body. Then what is AIDS? AIDS stands for acquired immunodeficiency symptoms. It means deficiency in immune system, and syndrome means a group of symptoms. AIDS was first reported in 1981 and in the last 25 years, and so it has spread all over the world, killing more than 25 million persons. Then it is caused by human immunodeficiency virus or HIV. It is a member of virus called retrovirus which have an envelope enclosing the RNA genome. Transmission of HIV infection generally occur by sexual contact with infected person, by transfusion of contaminated blood and blood products, by sharing infected needle as in case of intravenous drug abuser, and from infected mother to her child through placenta. It is important to know that the HIV AIDS is not spread by touch and physical contact. It only spread through the body fluids. Hence, for physical and physiological well-being, that the HIV AIDS infected person are not isolated from family and society. There is always a time lag between infection and appearance of AIDS symptoms. This period may vary from few months to year, usually 5 to 10. getting into the body, virus enter into macrophages where RNA genome of virus replicate to form viral DNA with the help of enzyme reverse transcriptase. Reverse transcriptase is the enzyme where by using this enzyme from RNA, DNA can be formed. So this viral DNA then incorporated into host cell DNA and directs the infected cell to produce virus particle. The macrophages continue to produce virus, and in this way it acts like a HIV factory. Simultaneously, HIV enters into helper T lymphocytes, replicates and produce progeny virus. The progeny viruses released into blood attack other helper T lymphocyte. This is repeated, leading to progressive decrease in number of helper T lymphocytes in the body. During this period, persons suffer from fever, diarrhea, weight loss. Due to decrease in helper T lymphocytes, persons start suffering from infections that could have more otherwise overcome, such as those due to bacteria, especially mycobacterium, virus, etc. Patient becomes so immunodeficient that he or she unable to protect himself or herself against the infections. Then the widely used diagnostic test for AIDS is called immunosorbent assay or enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay or ELISA. Then cancer. Cell growth is highly controlled and coordinated, but when this is controlled mechanism breakdown, it will result in differentiation of the cell uncontrollably, which is result in the cancer cells, formation of cancer cell, leading to uncontrolled growth. This cancerous cell will divide continuously, leaving the formation of matured cell called tumors. There are two types of tumors. One is benign tumor, and the benign tumor have slower rate of growth and limited and do not spread all over the body parts. And the other one is malignant tumor, which grow quickly and spread through all over the body parts during a process called metastasis. Then causes of cancer. There are many cancerous carcinogens which can cause cancer, like many ionizing and non-ionizing radiations. There are many chemicals which can cause cancers, and these agents are called carcinogens. There are many diagnostic tests which can detect cancer, like biopsy, blood and bone marrow test, radiography, computed tomography, then MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, then using antibodies against cancer specific antigen, then other advanced technology of molecular biology. Then what is drug abuse? The consumption of drugs which are chemical substances that are not prescribed by doctors and are taken in a high doses very frequently results in the impairing of a person's physiological functions, leading to drug abuse. Commonly abused drugs are opioid, cannabinoids and coca alkaloids. Opioids or cannabinoids or coca alkaloids are commonly abused drug obtained from flowering plants. So opioids are the drugs which bind to specific opioid receptor present in our CNS or central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. For example, heroin, which is derived from poppy plant Papaver somniferum. Then cannabinoids, group of chemicals which interact with cannabinoid receptors present in our brain. Natural cannabinoids are obtained from inflorescence of the plant Cannabis sativa. For example, marijuana, hashish, chorus, ganja. These are the examples of cannabinoids. Then coca alkaloids, these are obtained from coca plant, Erythroxylum coca. These are native to South America. It interferes with transport of neurotransmitter dopamine. and example of this coca alkaloid is cocaine. Then smoking. Tobacco is either smoked, chewed or used as a snuff and consists of various chemical substances that include nicotine, and nicotine is an alkaloid. It results in adrenal gland releasing adrenaline and non-adrenaline hormone into blood, leading to a rise of blood pressure and heartbeat. Then what is adolescence? Adolescence is a period of adolescence starts when individual reaches the reproductive maturity. This stage comes in between childhood and adulthood. During this period, person undergoes various physiological and physical changes. Sorry, here it is physical and physiological. Physical and physiological changes leading to emotional and behavioral growth of an individual. During this period, individuals are highly emotional and vulnerable. Thus, youngsters may lead towards the life of drug abuse due to curiosity, need for adventure, experimentation, perceived benefits of alcohol and drug use, stress and academic pressure, need to appear cool and peer pressure, influence of popular media, social media, unstable family structure. So these are the cause that due to this many youngsters influenced or attracts towards the drug abuse or alcohol abuse, and they use alcohol or and other alcoholic products. So these products should be banned and we should not use these products as they are very very harmful for our health. So it is all about your chapter human health and diseases. I have summarized all the important points which are very very important for your upcoming 12th board exams. So stay tuned. In my next video I will discuss another important topic of your 12th class NCERT biology book, and please like, share and subscribe to my channel Sunanda's tutorial. Thank you.